Welcome to Rauta's Indie 5. This time we have actually 4 releases from 2021 and 1 from 2022. Let's go in alphabetical order. This is mostly black metal driven, but some surprises here and there as well. First we'll go with the newest one. This one is Askara from Switzerland with Lights of Night, a second album. This is something that could be described as gothic metal and has a pretty beautiful cover if you ask me. Very much atmosphere in this one. Now this album then again is quite a case and not necessarily in good ways. This one comes with a lyric sheet featuring the band photo in the middle and here individual photos with more liner notes and whatever, and then obviously we have the CD here in question and then this inlay with more band photos, and here, voila, with the tracklist as well. This is fastball release and early April 1. Now, this is a tricky pony because, on the other hand, this is very much like piano and female vocals driven gothic metal. Kind of the very basic. If you ever heard music such as Within Temptation or Nightwish and the like, you pretty much kind of get the idea. Beautiful female vocals, not very original and not exactly, anything unique in that sense, but, kind of a beautiful and easy to get into. Just a little bit dull, especially when this album runs for almost 60 minutes. But where it gets dull is this feature that all these riffs are very much a filler material. You can hear these kind of a palm muted riffs like din, 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 din. That's pretty much of it. Drumming, very, very dull and basic. Can't really hate that guy, but I mean, a little bit of more imagination wouldn't have hurt the album here. But where it gets kind of confusing is that the vocalist has this very dry, growly vocals, which is not good in death metal terms, but does its job just kind of okay. But it doesn't really fit the thing here. I don't know whether this is a couple or whether they're siblings. They have the same name, the both vocalist, the female one with the piano and the bass player with the growly vocals. But it seems like this is kind of a force-fed thing, like, hey, we have to do this because we're brother and sister, or maybe they're a couple and this is some kind of a romantic adventure with them and then the couple of other people. But everything feels here like a super dull thing. This is like my very first gothic demo. The production is solid, can't really complain about that. But the piano parts, boring. Female vocals, talented but not having passion. And those dry growly vocals, really, they don't fit this thing. So either this is something like going 2 different directions. On the one hand, there's this Within Temptations kind of a style, and on the other hand, let's do some doom death metal with growlier vocals. Let's just add a lot of gothicness into play. Very mediocre release, which I can't really recommend to anybody except the biggest fans of the genre. Now then we have 4 releases by Pirated through Fire, German black metal label, always delivering more or less some kind of a quality. First we go to Hungary with a band called Hennessy with an album called Garabontzia. Doesn't really get the black metal vibes really there, and the reason is this is more about like post black metal things. There are lots of semi-clean guitar parts with a little bit distorted parts as well, and then there are these kind of raspy vocals which are almost like whispering somewhere on the background. This is very, very atmospheric stuff, but it doesn't really have the kind of a good drive with those riffs and all that stuff. So on the atmospheric side, it's good and solid, but when it comes to riffs and songs, like memorable ones, not really cutting the cookie here. It's kind of interesting. I wish it was more riff-driven, more melodies-driven and all that stuff. Now it seems like, yeah, it's quite in development phase. Interesting, but no cigar this time. Still definitely worth a listen to. Then we have a kind of a side project by Meister Leonhard. Sounds like a German name. And this is the debut album with self-titled name. Now the curious thing here is this is actually a doom metal side project by a couple of Russia-based members. Then some other people as well. And can't really say I have ever heard Thigh Grave, But what they're doing here with this 30 minutes and then some black metal is actually pretty good. This is very much nodding to 1990s ways of doing black metal, like a mid-raw kind of stuff. Not super raw, I mean, we're not talking about Ilion or Golden Era of Dark Throne, but kind of, overall cutting through the 1990s with melodies and grim riffs and, well, suitable production in that sense. And the result is actually pretty goddamn promising. If only these songs were polished to a little bit further, this could be really a good album. Now it's actually quite good, but yeah, still missing some magical ingredient. But definitely worth taking a look. Interesting 30 minutes and then some release, which I think holds some promise for the future days to come. Then we have this side project, once again, called Nachtig. Nighttime, I guess it's roughly translated, by Valosta Varjon guy, another German black metal band. And the previous album by Nachtig, the self-titled one, was actually a very lukewarm experience, and there's not much to tell about it because, in fact, wasn't anything good. Now, with the second album, this is a big step up in all respects. Be it riffs, be it melodies, be it vocals, production, everything. Now this is starting to sound like a real band, even though technically speaking this is kind of a bedroom black metal because one-man operated thing and delivering that kind of atmospheric black metal. Very basic as such, nothing great here, nothing bad here, but just very much like easy to listen, easy to forget. But I think now this band is totally going to proper direction. So if you like atmospheric black metal and you don't really care if there is not exactly originality, or if you like bands like Garabontzia, now Nachtig is definitely worth taking a look and listen. A little bit Burzum in the play, and there you have it. Then we have Order of Nosferat, once again a German-Finnish side project with the debut album Necuratul. Since this album in early 2021, the band has put out another 2 releases, both full-length albums already, so at least 3 albums in like 1 year or so. That's quite a pace. Now, the Finnish part of this band is actually doing on the drums. He's known for lots of smaller Finnish black metal bands, and the main man is Mr. Revenant from bands like Sakrista. And the thing here is, this is where Dungeons and meets rawish, grim, melodic black metal, but unfortunately it makes this album seem like Sakrista leftovers. None of these riffs are exactly bad or totally mediocrity, but they're kind of forgettable ones. Now when this is married to more these kind of 1990s synthesizer music, which is nowadays more or less known as or called as Dungeon synth, you know pretty much what's going on. To me, this sounds like a B version of Satanic Warmaster style, so definitely very German, but a little bit of Finnish black metal style into play. Melodic, rawish, Dungeon synth keyboards, and there you have it. I feel like this could be a lot better. Now it feels like more like, hey, these riffs were not suitable for Sakrista, let's use them here. So Order of Nosferat basic on this one, can't really recommend. It's not bad, but kind of demo-ish. And when I heard about the third album, well, they didn't really convince me. So what in essence we have here, one mediocre one, Askara, one close to mediocre, kind of a lukewarm, is Order of Nosferat. Then we have couple of decent one, Hennessy and Nachtig, and the winner of this pile is Meister Leonhard from Russia. So 5 releases, of which I could 3 recommend to you. You will find links provided in the description box, so click the ones and you can pretty much find more information on the links provided, be it Metal Archives, Facebook or Bandcamp, and then listen to the music. And of course use your Googling skills to the max, so you'll find more information like where to buy these ones. Wink wink, Purity Through Fire has its own web store. So in case you want these in physical format, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and looking forward to your comments on these fine albums. Take care, and see you soon with more reviews coming your way.